Anyone who hasn't seen the gateway process, there is another dimension that is like known as the absolute, which is we're limited by time and space here.
Yeah.
In the absolute, there is none. When you go into deep REM sleep, your conscious accesses that. That's why you can't remember it. Well, it gets weirder. So the next day, I have another like half an hour meditation session, and I feel I'm hugging my two sons, like vividly. And like I see them when they're young, and I'm like picking them up, and they're like, then I see them when they're adults, and then I see them on my deathbed.
This is the first step along your path to a gateway beyond which is discovery, your own discovery of reality, of truth, of who and what you are.
The Gateway tapes are a series of audio recordings designed to guide listeners into altered states of consciousness. Most people who've tried them claim to have unlocked supernatural abilities. Abilities like reading minds, intuitive thinking, predicting the future, or even manifesting desires into reality. I've been using the Gateway tapes for the past 2 years, and from my personal experience, there's a lot more to the program than reading minds or predicting bad events. I know what I'm about to tell you might sound crazy, but the 3,000 positive comments under my previous video confirm the tape's effects.
I did the Gateway tapes in 2002 to 2003. My most memorable achievement was bilocation on Focus 27 out-of-body experience, being at home and being at my friend's house at the same time. Obviously not physically in two places, but at home meditating while desiring to see my friend. 2 minutes later, he called me and said that he felt as if I was there in the room standing in front of him.
I started this process, and things got strange fast. Seeing energy fields around people, impacting and feeling their thoughts, waking up out of my body, seeing a shadow figure around my room, predictive dreams.
This time, I will share my full story, including how to start today and how to do it at home. In the 1950s, Robert Monroe discovered he had a natural tendency for out-of-body experiences.
Here I was, lying in bed, waiting for this vibration to stop so I could go to sleep. And I began to think about Saturday and what a nice day Saturday would be, simply because of the fact that a cold front had come through, and it meant that up at Wurtsboro, where I was a member of a glider club, that the ridge lift would be tremendous. And that's when I found myself bumping against the ceiling. And in bumping against the ceiling, I didn't know what had happened until finally I looked around and said, oh, where am I? What is this? We have means to let people know they are more than their physical body. And knowing you are more than your physical body is the beginning of knowing that you survived physical death. And knowing that is a tremendous relief in fear.
At first, no one believed him except his wife. She believed him not just because she was his wife, but because they conducted tests that proved astral projection was real. And after 20 years of experiments, he developed a program that combined frequencies and guided meditations to help others have the same experience. The Gateway tapes are a tool. It's a tool that helps beginners achieve deep meditative states more easily than usual. Robert Monroe's tapes became so effective that practically anyone could reach monk-like levels of consciousness. You don't need to go to a monastery, dedicate your life to a religion, or to be celibate. With the Gateway tapes, you can enjoy all the benefits of elevated consciousness with just 30 minutes of daily practice, and just within a few months of use as well. That's why the Hemi-Sync program became so popular in the 1980s. But once the program got on the CIA's radar, they stepped in, and that's when all the testing started. I've never participated in anything CIA related, but I read all the declassified reports. I saw the tests they did, and I conducted the same tests on myself. One night, I experienced something that was very hard to believe. We were staying at a villa for a birthday party, and after the party, I didn't feel like sleeping at all. So I put on my earphones and listened to the Focus 15 tape from the Gateway tapes. After 20 minutes, I entered the deep meditative state the CIA calls Focus 15. This moment, my thoughts disappear. I noticed electricity hovering over the house where I was staying. This electricity passed through me in my meditation, and I felt that something extremely powerful was visiting the house as a form of an energy of sorts. I saw a shadow, but it wasn't dark. It just hovered around, and it didn't have bad intentions. But I knew it was up to something important. As soon as it disappeared from my meditation, I opened my eyes just to find my whole body full of static electricity. The hairs on my arms and head were standing straight up. So I woke up my girlfriend and we were both shocked by what had happened. I told her I expected something important to happen soon because that's how I felt during the meditation. As the sun was rising, I heard an ambulance approach the house. When I went to speak out with the medics, I found out that the owner of the villa had passed away moments earlier. I'd just spoken to him a few hours before and he seemed fine. For me, that was the tipping point that confirmed the gateway tapes can connect to informational fields that are otherwise unreachable for us. At the moment, I didn't know someone was going to die, but I knew something important was going to happen, and I felt it deep inside. All of this led me to believe that, after all, we're using only our senses that we have, like hearing, touch, and smell. But we don't perceive even 5% of the total information encoded in the universe. I mean around us, not in the whole universe. So we see only 5% of the spectrum of light. That's the visible spectrum that we see. We hear only a short range of sounds and vibrations as well. There's information we don't even have senses to perceive, like electricity, gravity, radiation, and many others. Our brains download information and process it through symbols familiar to us. Symbols like the Grim Reaper, angels, demons. I felt death drawing near in a very real way. This was the first time I witnessed the tangible effects of the gateway tapes, and I immediately shared the tapes with my friends. Most of my friends gave it a try, but they didn't stick with the program. However, within a month, one of them reached Focus 15, and he started manifesting women into his life. Suddenly, wherever he went, girls were practically trying to pick him up. This was something that had never happened to him before. He even met his current spouse after one of his manifestation sessions. He actually crashed his bike. And as soon as he got up, he met her there. She was standing, they had a chat, and they're now together. When my viewers heard this story in my previous Gateway Tapes video, they dared me to manifest something to prove that the tapes work. They challenged me to manifest two things: 50,000 subscribers and a better accent, because many people complained about my English and my pronunciation. At first I thought, how the hell was I supposed to manifest an accent? But then, why not? At that point, I'd been doing the tapes for a year already. I'd read minds, I'd seen death in another dimension, I'd traveled out of my body, and I'd even spoken to my emotions like I'm speaking to you now. So I did a few meditations with the intention of more subscribers and a better accent in mind. Then time passed, and I'd forgotten about it. But now, I actually got the subscribers. And my accent visibly improved. I'm not speaking like a native, but people no longer complain under my videos. They actually understand what I'm speaking without needing subtitles, and that's enough for me for now. And I didn't watch any videos, I didn't do any courses, it was just the mindset that I'd planted in my own mind. It did it for me. But enough backstory. Let's cover what you are really here for. How the tapes work, why they work, and what I've achieved with them. And this time, I will guide you through the whole process, step by step from start to finish, so you can very easily replicate it at home. And if you pay close attention and you're consistent with your practice, I'm sure you will achieve much crazier things than I ever did. For years, I've questioned the nature of reality. Some people believe the world is a simulation. Others think it was created by God. I never accepted any explanation without doing my own research. I've been studying ancient texts for years, and I've come to believe that everything in the universe is mental, a construct of the mind. I truly think the universe is a single, unified form of consciousness. Even the tiniest particle mirrors the structure of our solar system. Take the atom, for example, with electrons orbiting the nucleus just as planets circle the sun. For all we know, we could be living inside a giant organism. I am sharing this because the gateway tapes are based on the idea that the universe is holographic. This means everything is made of energy, and every piece of information ever to exist is encoded within that energy. Past, present, possible futures, even the unrecorded thoughts of Leonardo da Vinci, it's all there. Plato called this information field the world of ideas. Carl Jung called it the collective unconscious. Hindus refer to it as the Akashic records, and the CIA calls it the holographic universe. And the CIA knows we are miles away from reaching a point where we could decode this information using computers or technology. That's why they tried to use the human brain to do it, by developing this program. Our minds and spirits are a fundamental part of decoding the universe. They are much better equipped to tap into the universe than any computer is. That's why they hired thousands of people and spent millions on this project. I cannot speak for everyone who tried the program, but I'll share my story and how it started. In order to experience the same things that I went through, you'll need to download the manual and the gateway tapes. You can find the tapes on Spotify or YouTube, or buy the original version from the Hemi-Sync website. I'm going to link it below in the comments. The site is generally the safest bet, but you can do as you wish. So, let's begin. Pick a spot other than your bed, like a couch, a chair, or a secluded area in your house. This will be your gateway place from now on. If your bed is your only option, position yourself so that your head faces a different direction than usual. This change will signal your brain that it's time to relax, not to sleep. Once you found your spot, put on your headphones. Lie down comfortably and minimize your movements to reach a deeper state of relaxation. If you tend to fall asleep very easily, try sitting upright in a chair, like I'm doing now. But make sure you're comfortably supported, as reaching total relaxation may require extra neck and body support. When you start, flex all your muscles, including your face, multiple times. This will help relax your body further. After that, play the tape of your choice. I suggest doing the tapes one by one to reach a stage where you can do amazing things like manifesting or seeing glimpses of the future. You need to reach at least focus 15, that's where the magic starts to happen. But you can never reach focus 15 without reaching focus 10 first. I believe the tape I've listened to the most is Introduction to Focus 10 and Advanced Focus 10. Once you master these, you can proceed with the next focus levels. If you've never done this before, start with a tape called Orientation. Do only one tape per day or sometimes one tape per a few days. Don't rush it. You won't get any better if you do more than one per day. Your body and brain have their limits. So treat this like you treat physical exercise and overtraining. Wave 1 consists of 6 recordings. The Focus 10 and Advanced Focus 10 are the most important ones. The gateway experience is divided in focus levels, Focus 1, 3, 10, 11, 12, 15, 21, and so on. But with each focus level, your capabilities grow, and your relationship to the universe changes. So imagine focus levels as different radio stations that you tune your mind to. In some, you don't receive any information. In others, you receive a lot. In the higher ones, you can also transmit information. That's how you get to manifesting and speaking with the universe. Focus 1 is your normal everyday waking consciousness. Focus 3 is a soft meditation state. Focus 10 is a much deeper meditative state. Imagine the moment right before falling asleep. Imagine being there, but fully conscious. This is Focus 10. The whole program depends on you learning how to reach Focus 10. This is why I will walk you through the process now in just 2 minutes. That way, you know what to do when you're listening to the meditation. Most people achieve focus 10 after a week or two of practicing, but I think you can do it even quicker with this help. After you put the headphones, the voice you hear during the meditation will guide you.
Your own discovery of reality, of truth, of who and what you are.
Then, it will ask you to repeat some affirmations. And after that, you will have to imagine a box in your mind. Place all your anxieties in that box. Place your work card, symbolizing your career. Place your watch, symbolizing your future, and so on. I always visualize my box in the middle of a desert, and once I close it, I put it in a hole and cover it with sand. And if you're one of the few people with aphantasia, meaning you can't see images in your head when you imagine them, don't worry. In this case, you need to imagine holding and touching the items which you place into the box. I'm sure you can do that. Imagine the physical sensation of touching the box. After you've done that, you will hear the resonant tuning prompt. Doing chants like and the like. Inhale deeply, and when you exhale, produce the same sound. Like inhale, and do the sound you're doing. It's important that you place your tongue on the tip of your mouth without touching your teeth. That way, the vibrations will reach all the way to your brain. Do that until the voice tells you to stop. Follow the instructions. They're very easy to understand. You might not reach focus 10 with your first attempt, but when you do, you're going to feel a little dizzy, as if the world is spinning. You'll feel like you're on a roller coaster. At the same time, you will be deeply relaxed and numb. Your body will be asleep and your mind will be awake. Some of you might experience sleep paralysis. This is normal, don't be afraid. The guided meditation will get you out of it. In Focus 10, you have complete subconscious control of your body. You will forget to think and you will stop noticing your breathing. At some point, your heart rate and breathing will be as low as they are during your deepest sleep. While you are in this state, you can consciously control any things you otherwise don't have access to. For example, you can increase the blood flow to a certain body part, just by imagining that it's happening. You can also make specific parts of your body go numb. In Focus 12, it's a bit different. Your consciousness will be more outwardly oriented. You will be able to download information from the universe. When you go from Focus 10 to Focus 12, you will feel like your consciousness is spilling out of your body like water could spill out of a glass. This is your consciousness leaving your body slowly expanding beyond your physical limits. We very rarely perceive energy in exactly the same way we perceive in our physical waking state. During meditation, there is often a knowing or a telepathic comprehension that we normally translate into verbal language. The same thing happens in dreams. Sometimes you know something without seeing or touching it. Through trust and patience and continuing to invest energy in the process of self-exploration, you will learn to perceive more clearly. Sometimes this happens slowly, step by step, and sometimes this happens dramatically and suddenly like water breaking through a dam. There are hundreds of things you can do in the magical world that the gateway tapes unveil, but you must remember that they are just a tool. Once you open the doorway to the information encoded within the universe, the potential is limitless. I am still on the verge of doing that, but Robert Monroe and the CIA in their documents said that the biggest progress boost of consciousness is achieving stable out-of-body experiences. I still haven't reached the level of astral projections and out-of-body experiences I would like to have. My out-of-body experiences sometimes collapse. I'm working on it. The truth is, gateway tapes are not the best tool for that. They're better for a conscious communication with the universe and uploading and downloading information into it. They're better for understanding your body and having meditation travels. They're better for manifestation, but they're not that good at having out-of-body experiences and inducing them. Achieving astral projection through the gateway tapes is very difficult. It takes years. At least for me, it did. If you want to start having out-of-body experiences, I suggest another method that would complement the gateway tapes. A friend of mine that has an astral projection school sent me a guided meditation that actually unlocked this door to me, and I started having out-of-body experiences more often. I'm sure some of you have already listened to it, but it works like magic. I believe achieving an astral projection will boost your gateway tapes progress 100-fold. The guided meditation I'm talking about is completely free. I'll link it below in the description. All you need to do is click the link, sign up with your email, you'll receive it via email, download it, put it on your phone, wake up in the middle of the night between 3 and 4 a.m., stay awake for a bit, put your earphones on and play it. Then go back to sleep. Sleep with the meditation on. At some point, it will wake you back up with instructions on how to leave your body. For me, this works at least 50% of the time. And after you've done it a few times, you'll be able to do it without the meditation too. And with this, you'll get out of body much quicker than with the tapes. The gateway tapes will give you a way more structured understanding of the universe than astral projections. With the tapes, you can speak to the universe. As the tapes progress, you'll learn how to heal your body, or even assess whether there is something wrong with you or with your physical being that you don't know. These things you cannot do with out-of-body experience. You can also ask questions to the universe, or even visit your past lives. I know this must sound like a load of crap to some of you. Until I saw it with my eyes and my mind, I never believed any of this. But now I know it to be true. Why do you think some people spend their entire lives in monasteries? It's to achieve this level of consciousness that you can have now by spending 30 minutes a day. And I will try to find a way to prove all of this in my future videos. But for now, I think it's enough proof that 3,000 people confirmed that this is true. In my previous video, they shared their experiences. It's not just me. So please read the comment. I have exciting news. The same Monroe Institute which created the gateway tapes all those years ago contacted me. They offered me help to achieve a deeper consciousness level. I will be having calls with them on a monthly basis, and we will be working together on that. So expect some gateway tapes content coming on the way. If you're interested in expanding your consciousness, please subscribe. And if you haven't watched the first part of my gateway tapes video, I'd be happy if you did that just now. Thank you for watching.